to Mount St. Mary's School. My name is Kathy Moyer, and I'm going to be delighted to present to you our third graders here to read some of their favorite stories to you.
Hi, my name is Delaney Osnow, and I will be reading Woof, the dog who saved other dogs. Woof was not a friendly dog. He loved his master and mysteries very much, but he didn't like other people. Woof didn't seem to like other dogs either. He hardly ever played with the other collies that lived with him at Sunnybank Farm. Woof didn't like other dogs much, but he seemed to feel he had to take care of them. A big sign at the beginning of the farm's long carving driveway read, "Go slow, dogs running free." Still, cars and trucks often would come. Rowing up the driveway once a letter of pups choose the mindly of the drivers as their playground. So the hours at the time poor Wolf lay on the grass nearby. He watched the puppies reach and tumble up and down the driveway. Every time they heard a car turn in from the road, he got up and circled round and round the pups until they were in a tight bunch. Then he hurled them off the driveway. But Wolf couldn't watch the puppies all the time. One day they were playing in the driveway as usual. The delivery truck turned into the farm and went around the first curve and came reaching toward the pups. Just then, Wolf came out of the clumping of the trees across the lawn. He saw a Durger puppies were in, but the truck was coming so fast and he was too far away to get them. Out of the way in time, Wolf began to bark. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear the rest of the story, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Connor Town, and I will be reading A Hat for the Queen. Once there were no hats in the whole world, but a king wanted a hat to give to his queen. It was her birthday. He called his wise man. "Please get a hat for the queen," he said. The wise man had never heard of a hat, but did not like to say so. He called the cook. The cook "Please get a hat for the queen." The cook had never heard of a hat, but did not like to say so. He called his helper Sam. Get the queen a hat for the queen, he said. "What is a hat?" asked Sam. The cook said he was too busy to answer silly questions. So Sam had to look for a hat. He looked and he looked. He found something long. It was thin and made of wood. Sam gave it to the cook. The cook gave it to the wise man. The wise man said, "Happy birthday." The queen said, "Thank you." She put it on her head and on her head, but the long thin wood thing fell off. The king came running. He cried, "That is not a hat, that is a bat. A hat for the queen must be soft." "I knew it all the time," said the wise man. Thank you for listening to me read. You can check it out to your local library. One berry, two berry, pick me a blueberry. Hatberry, shoeberry, and my canoeberry. Under the bridge and over the dam, looking for berries, berries, and jam. Three berry, four berry, hay berry, strawberry. Finger and pawberry, my berry, your berry. Strawberry ponies, strawberry lambs, dancing in meadows of strawberry jam. Quickberry, clackberry, pick me a blackberry. Trainberry, trackberry, clickety blackberry. Rumble and ramble and blackberry bramble. Billions of berries for blackberry jamble. Raspberry, jazzberry, razzmatazberry, berry band, merry band, jamming in berry land. Raspberry rabbit, raspberry band, elephant skating on raspberry jam. Moonberry, strawberry, cloudberry sky. Boomberry, zoomberry, rocket shoot by. Mountains and fountains rain down on me, buried in berries, what jam jamboree. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to me read. You can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Vincent Ormsby, and I'll be reading A Boy Named Boomer. Hello, reader. My name is Norman Julius Asen, but everyone calls me Boomer. Boomer is a football word that means kicker. Before I was born, I kicked so much that my parents called me Boomer. But I didn't become a kicker, I became a quarterback because I loved to throw the ball. I became a professional football player on May 1st, 1984. It was a happy day for me. Best of all, many people, family and friends shared my happiness. When I was a boy, I lived with my father and two sisters in a house on Long Island. In some ways, I felt different from other children. I had white hair, I had an odd name, I was left-handed, but I liked being different in many ways. I was like all other children. I loved sports, I loved school, I loved my friends, I loved my family. This book is about me when I was around your age. I hope you like it. Sincerely. Chapter 1, January the Catch. I didn't have a real football yet. I had a yellow plastic football with holes in it. My father threw it to me. I didn't catch it. Don't be afraid of it, he said. You have to love the ball. If you love it, you will catch it. He threw it to me again. I remembered to love the ball. This time, I caught it. Chapter 2, February the Valentine. On the day before Valentine's Day, my teacher told the class to bring in cards. We didn't have to sign the cards. They would be secret Valentines. My sister Robin took me to a store to buy a card for a girl named Cindy. I also bought her a necklace and a bracelet with hearts on them. On Valentine's Day, I put them into the Valentine's mailbox. Cindy took out her presents, and the boys and girls looked at me and giggled. They guessed that those gifts were from me. My friends teased me. I was embarrassed. Some boys in my class didn't like girls, but I did. I have always liked girls. March, the hit. In my neighborhood, we love sports: baseball, hockey, basketball, and football. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how this story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Danny Molina, and I will be reading Exploring the Night Sky. The starry night has intrigued humans for thousands of years. To our ancestors, the stars and planets were mysterious lights in the darkness above. They could only guess what was really out there. Gradually, over the centuries, astronomers have begun to understand what they were seeing. Today, we know the universe contains more galaxies than there are people on Earth. And each galaxy has as many stars as there are grains of sand in an overflowing wheelbarrow. Some of the stars are so enormous that it would take years for just a spacecraft to get from one side to another. Some are no wider than a small city. Our sun is about midway between these extremes. A sun is a star still in its youth. Stars do not exist forever. Like people, they are born, they die. Astronomers have gathered evidence that the entire universe has not existed forever either. About 15 billion years ago, a majestic explosion called the Big Bang created an expanding bubble of energy. After millions of years, the bubble cooled into gas. The galaxies began to form from the gas. Later, stars were born within the galaxies. One of those stars was the sun. Astronomers think the sun was born 4.5 billion years ago. Earth and other planets in the solar system were formed along the sun with some leftover material. That's the big picture. But there are lots of details to be filled in. This book is divided into 3 sections. The first step, a 10-step voyage from the Earth's vicinity to distant reaches of the universe, sets the stage for part 2, alien visas. A sequence of 10 close-up looks at something most interesting objects mentioned in the first section. The final segment is a guide to viewing the night sky, which will enable you to go outside on any clear night of the year and identify celestial objects. This glossary at the back of the book will have explanations of unfamiliar terms and pronunciations. Step 1. 1.3 light seconds from Earth. Nothing in our universe moves faster than light. Laser beams shot from the Earth reach the Moon in less than 1.5 seconds. Compared with light speed, our fastest spacecraft would barely crawl along. It'd take hours to get to the Moon. For just a spacecraft to travel to planets such as Mars or Jupiter. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Krista Jager, and I will be reading 5 Little Piggies. This little piggy went to the market. Little piggy, will you go to the market? We need eggs and milk and apples, said little Mama Piggy. Sure, said little piggy, and she went to the market singing, eggs and milk and apples, megs and milk and mapples, pigs and milk and papples. When she got to the market, she said, may I have some pigs and peeps and pooples? I mean some pigs and lick and pickles? I don't know what I mean. I'll go ask my mommy. On the way home, she saw some chickens and cows eating apples. Oh, now I remember, said little piggy, and she ran back to the market and bought eggs and milk and apples. Mommy, I'm back, said little piggy. Good, did you get everything, said Mama Piggy. Yes, I got megs and milk and a whole rag of pickles. A whole bag of pooples. Oh, they're delicious pooples, said Mama Piggy. And here's a great big bug for my silly piggy wiggy. This little piggy stayed home. Splash, little piggy spilled his juice. Crash, he dropped his cereal on the floor. Rip, his pants split, and all the other little piggies laughed at him. Mama Piggy said, I think you should stay home with me today. And she went and she sent the others off to school. All day long, little piggy and Mama Piggy cooked and ate and played together. We had slop cakes and syrup for lunch, said little piggy when the others came home from school. The next day, all the other little piggies spilled their milk and dropped their cereal on the floor. Mommy, can we stay home with you? They asked. Of course you can, said Mama Piggy. Not me, said little piggy. I'm going to school. This little piggy had roast beef. Little piggies, come and eat, called Mama Piggy. Not slops again, said little piggy. Why can't we have roast beef? Okay, said Mama Piggy. Here's some roast beef. It's good, but something is missing. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear the rest of the story, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Greg Hauser, and I would like to read Little Polar Bear, Take Me Home.
Lars the little polar bear lived at a North Pole, surrounded by ice and snow. One day, Lars sat staring at the ocean. "I'm bored," he growled. Then his stomach growled too, and hungry. Lars decided to go and explore the dump behind the polar bear research station. He knew he would find something good to eat there. And watching the seagulls soaring over the dump was more interesting than watching waves go endlessly up and down. Lars found 2 chicken drumsticks and a few other tasty-looking scraps and carried them across to the railway. Sitting there where he could eat in peace, he spread out his feast and started to eat. But when he reached for the chicken, it wasn't there. Lars peered inside the train. A strange striped animal stared back. A piece of chicken fell out of his mouth. Lars gasped in astonishment. The striped animal started to cry. "Who are you?" asked Lars. "I'm Sasha, and I'm so hungry." "Hello, I'm Lars," said the little polar bear. "Have some more to eat, and tell me what you're doing here." Well, Sasha began, with his mouth full. "My father has often told me about the ocean and the end of the railway track." "Does he really?" asked Lars, rather surprised. Yes, and I've always wanted to see it. I thought this train might take me there, so I climbed inside and I rode for such a long time, but I didn't see the ocean, and now I'm lost and might take me there. So I climbed inside and I rode for such a long time, but I didn't see the ocean, and no, I'm lost and scared and tired, and I just want to go home." Sasha started to cry again. "Don't be scared, Sasha," said Lars. I've often been far away from home, and sometimes I got a bit lost too. But someone always helped me get back, and now I'll help you. Why don't you take a nap first? I'll keep watch." But no sooner had Sasha fallen asleep than Lars nodded off too. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear this story, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Colleen Flanagan, and I'm going to be reading Seal. One day, said Jenny, I want to know something that none of you know. She was on a vacation in Greece with her mother, her father, and her big brother Joe. Every day for almost 2 weeks, the 3 of them had told her things. They had told her stories about the ancient Greek gods. They had explained how the ruined temples and broken statues had once looked. They had shown her little white churches, huge hillside monasteries, and trees growing olives and lemons. They had taught her how to eat an artichoke and how to recognize a swallowtail butterfly, a spider crab, and a stinging jellyfish. Now sitting outside the cafe eating honey cakes, Jenny decided that her head was so full it didn't have room for a single piece of information. Her father pointed across the small harbor to an island that rose from the sea like a miniature mountain. We must get a canoe to take us out there, he said. Jenny, a canoe is a kind of boat. But Jenny put her hands over her ears. Don't tell me anything more, she said. You shouldn't mind us knowing more than you, said her mother. We're all older than you. But you'll always be older than me, said Jenny. I'll never catch up. Later down by the boats that were moored in the shallows, Jenny's father talked with two fishermen. The older one only spoke Greek, but his son, Stephanos, though could speak English. Stephanos was friendly, but he shook his head when Jenny's father asked about a trip to the island. It's only a rock, he said. No one goes there. We like to have a picnic on it, said Jenny's mother. Not possible, said Stephanos. There are many other rocks under the sea around it. The bottom would be torn out of my boat. Instead, I will take you night fishing, if you would like. We would like, said Joe. Then we go tonight, said Stephanos cheerfully. The evening sun was still making a glowing red path across the sea when they got into the boat, but Stephanos lit the lamps at once. They hissed softly as they burned. They're gas lamps, said Joe. That's why they make that sound. Jenny ignored him. They are called pyrophania, said Stephanos. That means fire crowns. Jenny smiled like she liked the name, and she found that she didn't mind Stephanos telling her things. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Evan Drake, and I'm going to be reading Lightning. Every second of every day, more than 100 lightning bolts strike the earth. That's about 10 million lightning bolts in a single day. The early Greeks thought that the king of gods, Zeus, hurled thunderbolts from stormy skies. The Vikings imagined their god of weather, Thor, was striking a powerful hammer against an anvil to produce thunder and lightning. That the native tribes believed that lightning was caused by the flashing feathers or flapping wings of the mighty thunderbird. Today we know that lightning is a river of electricity rushing through an ocean of air. Yet scientists are still not sure exactly what causes the awesome strokes of power. Lightning bolts travel at a lightning speed of up to 60,000 miles per second. That's 6,000 times faster than our fastest spaceships. A single lightning bolt travels through twisted paths through the air as wide as some of your fingers and from 6 to 10 miles long. A flash of lightning is brighter than 10 million 100-watt light bulbs, and it pulses in hundreds of millions of volts and billions of watts. As much power as there is in all the electrical generating plants in the United States in that split second. The flash only takes a millionth of a second. The electricity in a volt would power one light bulb for only a month. Lightning begins with the velocity moving ice crystals and raindrops in the storm clouds. As a result of the motion, electric charges build up at the bottom of the cloud. An opposite electric charge builds up on the ground just below the cloud. The charges in the ground make your hair stand right on it before a lightning storm. Starting in the cloud, small streamers of sparks called step leaders begin to shoot downward 50-yard leaps. The leaders approach the ground. They meet upward streams from the ground, most likely from high places such as treetops, tall buildings,
Those swimmers eat their tails. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to see how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Tanner, and I'm going to be reading The Golden Touch. Once upon a time, there lived a very wealthy king named Midas. King Midas was fonder of gold than anything else in the world. If he loved anything better, it was his daughter, Marigold. But the more he adored her, the more he wanted to savor all the riches he could. As days passed, Midas got to be so greedy that he could hardly stand to see or touch anything that was not gold. He spent almost every day in a dark room in the basement of his palace, where he kept his riches. After carefully locking the door, he would gather gold coins and bring them into the one bright and narrow sunbeam that fell over the window. The only reason he loved that sunbeam was that his treasure would shine, except for its aid. Midas was in his treasure room one day when a shadow fell over his heaps of gold. King Midas quickly looked up and saw a strange young man standing in the sunbeam. "You are wealthy, King Midas," the stranger said. "No other room on earth contains as much gold and riches as that you have in this room." "I have done rather well," answered Midas, "but I could always use more. If you're not satisfied, what would satisfy you?" asked the stranger. Midas thought about it for a moment. "I wish that everything I touch would change to gold," King Midas exclaimed. "The golden touch," the stranger said. "That's a Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, check it out at your local.
What do you love?
Reading!
Where do you go to school?
Mount St. Mary's!
And what grade are you in?
Third!
And what do you love?